Although we haven't had much cool weather here in Zone 9, Northern Florida, the garden is looking amazing. Everything has taken off. It doesn't seem to be bolting, and they're doing well. And I thought I would give you the end of the month for November tour and let you see. Good morning. I'm Moses from Urban Backyard Container Garden. Welcome back to my channel. Let's get started with showing you what's growing on in the garden in the month of November. Okay, we're here in Pepper Row, although what you're looking at, I believe, is a broccoli plant. But here in Pepper Row, the temperatures for this time of the year are supposed to be much cooler, and obviously it hasn't been. However, that isn't that big of an issue so far. The plants, the peppers, are loving this weather, and there are blooms on all of my plants. The peppers are coming in as they should, although I would have expected them to come in during the summer, not in late fall, early winter. Not that I'm complaining, but they're doing well. You can see all kinds of peppers growing, and I'm happy with it. Even the new peppers that I started recently, such as this one here, this is a red monster moringa, and it's growing phenomenal, doing well. Even the squash plants, these are crookneck squash plants, are growing, and I don't know if this particular plant, this particular fruit was pollinated or not, but it's there. Now, I am getting what looks like pottery mildew. I really wasn't expecting to get a harvest or anything out of these plants, but I find it curious and interesting that this time of the year they are actually growing and seem to be doing well. The papaya plant that we are in front of here is doing well. It looks like we have what looks like little papayas. I don't know if this is normal or anything like that, as I've never grown papaya before. So any of you that have grown papaya and know what I should be looking for, leave me a message in the comment section. Here we have some more peppers that I started earlier. This is the Moruga scorpion. I believe both of these are, and they're doing well. And as I said, things are kind of odd. We even have eggplant growing this time of the year. And like I said, that seems kind of strange to me, but not that I'm going to complain about it. I'll accept the harvest. And the cowhorn pepper is continuing to do well. It's growing, it's doing its thing. I recently pruned back the peppers, and that seemed to stimulate them even more. They're doing good. This is I forget what this is. I'll have to look at my notes, but it's producing fruit as well. Let's go over to the raised beds and see what's going on over there. Okay, here in the carrot bed, the carrots have come up. They're growing, doing well. I recently added 2 different types in the areas that were barren from the first planting. and they have started to come up as well. So I'm looking forward to having a pretty decent harvest of carrots out of this bed. This bed is one of my long beds. It's actually, I guess you can say, technically the biggest. I haven't done anything with it other than water it. Um, we have heavy hitter okra here that you're looking at. We have a Scotch bonnet that is kind of growing wild, but it's producing vegetables or fruit rather. And we have back in the back basil. And like I said, I haven't really done anything but turn on the drip system, and that's it. The okra is still producing like mad. Every 2 days, maybe three, I have to come out and pick okra. If I don't, they get overly large, and I use those for seed. Okay, if you remember in a previous video, I had two types of radishes here in this bed, along with lettuce and some two types of turnips, and everything is looking well. I do see that I've had some type of insect pressure. I don't know what it is or anything like that. You can tell by the poop that has been left. So I'll probably be coming out in spring. I don't see any worms or anything like that on the plants, but I'll be coming out and giving them a spring, and hopefully that will take care of it. And this bed, this was my onion and garlic bed, and everything, with the exception of two garlic plants, has been eaten down to the soil level. And I have no idea what it is or anything like that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this bed. Um, for now, we're praying that the two remaining pieces of garlic grow, but we'll see. This is one of my brassica beds. It has broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts in it. And based upon the foliage that you see, the leaves, it is doing phenomenal. Here are my bell peppers. In a previous video, I pruned these back and stood them straight up. And I also put tomato cages around them to help them. And they seem to have gotten over the initial shock and are doing well. They're still producing fruit, and that's a good thing. This is another brassica bed. We have two different types of collards here, what you're looking at. And we also have two different types of cabbage. We have red and we have a green cabbage here. Everything, again, is taking off and growing well. In this bed, another brassica bed, we have Florida broadleaf mustards. And looks like we also have snails. I'm sorry, slugs. So we're going to get rid of him, and that will stop him from eating all my plants. Every morning I come out and check to see. This particular bed is the only one that seems to have slugs in it. Maybe the other one that we were at previously has the same thing. I'll look more closely for that. Here we have Brussels sprouts, cabbage, Florida broadleaf mustards, and we also have some cauliflower. And up until recently, everything was looking well and looking good until I saw in a previous feeding that the leaves of this mustard plant didn't look as good as they did. And that's how I found out that we have a problem with um, slugs. And I don't know how the slugs actually got in the bed, but that's another story. I think also, too, I've had problems in the past with mustards getting aphids and or white flies. And underneath here, it looks like that's what I have here. So I'll be coming out and spraying these. Hopefully that will take care of the issue. This is a snake skin, and I actually found it in one of my pepper plants here. So it appears that the snake shed its skin and then went on. I never did see the snake or anything like that. So that tells me that I need to kind of be careful when I'm over here and pay attention to what's going on. I recently put, we're at the, by the way, the U-shaped bed. I recently put in some California black-eyed pea seeds, and as you can tell, they have sprouted and are doing pretty well. These are my forever pepper plants, bell pepper plants, and they are still producing, doing well. I call them forever pepper plants because before I filled the bed in, these were the two original plants that I had planted. And then after I refilled the bed again, I didn't want to remove them. So they are very much deeply planted into this bed now. And they're going to stay there until their time has passed. Here, I don't know what's going on or anything like that, but I believe this is a squash plant, and how it got over here is beyond me, but it seems to be coming along and trying to grow. Here we have the white onions that I planted in a previous video, and we have red onions on the other side. Hopefully we will get these to grow and we will actually have onions. Otherwise, I may have to go out and get some sits, onion sits. I really don't particularly like using those, but if I want to have an onion harvest, I may have to do so. So we're inside the greenhouse outside, and I planted two different types of cabbages. I wanted to have some growing in the U-shaped bed along with the spinach. I believe the spinach seeds were past their prime. Nothing has come up, and the cabbage has come up not as good as I wanted it to, but at least I do have some that have come up, and these will be getting transplanted into the U-shaped bed. Here we have four different types of collards. A lot of them, I did a bulk planting of them, and these were started on the 1st of this month. These are Champion and these are Top Chop, and none of them came up. The big daddy greasy collards, bunch of them came up, and we have giant southern collards. They came up as well. The game plan for these is to put some of them into the U-shaped bed, but I want to take my green stalk planter and move it over from where it is now over to the area of the near the U-shaped bed and plant some of these into the green stalk so we have a lot of collards. And last but not least, I took some sweet potatoes, the four that I harvested earlier, and I placed them in this tray and put soil on them. My plan is to try to grow some slips from them so that I will have my own slips ready to go when it's time to plant them. So I want to thank you for coming along while I gave you the fall tour. I'm sorry, the November tour of what's going on or growing on in the garden. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it brought a smile to your face and a little joy to your heart. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. I can grow, and leave me a comment if there's anything that you want to ask as far as where I got the seeds from and or the soil or how techniques or methods that I use. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, take a moment to consider doing so. Looking at the analytics for YouTube, anywhere from 10 to 30% of folks usually subscribe and hit the notification bell all. Sadly, I'm at the 15%, and let's try to get that a little higher. So if you do decide to subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell all so you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. Chances are, if you like my video, your family and friends will as well. Until next time, always remember to give the thanks to God, for without Him, we are nothing. Until next time, take care.